Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amanda Shirelli, and I am the Outreach Coordinator for the Independent Living Department. And I also run the HERizon Women's Self Advocacy Group. And this month's speaker is Miss Kelly Boyd from the Office of Emergency Management, and she's going to talk about emergency preparedness, which is a really important topic for people with disabilities. So without further ado, I would like to pass it along to Miss Kelly Boyd. Hi, Kelly.
Thank
How
you.
are you today?
Great, Amanda. Aside from the extreme heat and the storm coming, good. But it's better than the 0-degree weather we had over the winter, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
I'm going to see about sharing my slides. It says send request. So Lisa may have to accept. Let me know. Is Lisa still there? Oh, Lisa, you're on mute.
I accepted it. It should be allowing
Okay,
you to do it.
great. All right, let's see here. Hang on. See, look how much I have going on today, everyone. Okay. What can you all see? Oh, I see. Um, can you all see that? Everybody's on mute, but
Yes, I could
okay,
see
you're
that,
good.
Kelly. You're all good.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll talk today about emergency preparedness for people with disabilities and access and functional needs, and I'll get into what access and functional needs means because we all know what a disability is. I don't need to explain that. But as Amanda said, my name's Kelly Boyd. I'm the Access and Functional Needs Planner within the New Jersey Office of Emergency Management. We do work remote at some points, which is why I'm in my home right now. So if the dog barks, my apologies. So emergency preparedness, for those who don't know, involves preparing resources and plans. That's really important to use during a disaster to protect lives and property, and other, other things. But those are the two main things. And right now, this is so timely because we are in what season, Amanda? Do you know? And it's going to go on for a long time.
We're in the hurricane season,
Correct.
and we're also in the summer season too, which brings on a lot of different weather. So,
Extreme heat. So
yep.
there, for folks who don't know, because I do find this a lot, and I know I recognize I'm jumping ahead, but I don't want to forget this. There are cooling centers in every county, and you could either call your local office of emergency management to find out where that is, or 211, which is very, very simple. Um, it doesn't cost anything to go there. In my town, I live in Mercer County. Usually it's the library. Ironically, one day the library had no power, so they diverted to the YMCA across the street. So I just want you to all know that because I believe, and maybe Amanda would like to look this up, I think it's going to be very close to 100 tomorrow. So folks might need that. So that's important to know. Also, emergency shelters, you can find out the same way. If we have this storm we're having tonight and one tomorrow, turns out to be really bad, you can find out where the shelters are that way or call police and they'll figure it out. Okay, so um, stemming off of what I was just talking about, I will offer some emergency preparedness tips today for those who have disabilities or access and functional needs or DAFN, some call it DAFN. And then I'm going to talk about the Register Ready program, which I know Amanda is promoting. And I appreciate folks signing up and promoting it, but we'll talk about that at the end. I oversee that program, by the way, for NJOEM. So, um, I've been in the field since 2007 and in various capacities. I've worked for FEMA. I have had this role with DHS, Department of State, private contractors, you name it. And when I was with Department of State Governor's Office of Volunteerism, they had a lot of groups rally to help rebuild and clean up. And they brought me, I was transferred, um, not at my request. I was told they needed help and they transferred me from DHS to DOS because, during Superstorm Sandy, the magnitude of and the devastation, it was just more than they could handle in that office. So my goal was, or role was to help with, um, repairs for people who have disabilities. A lot of folks lost their ramps, their homes, you name it. They needed places to go that were accessible. So I worked on a lot of different things. But my point here really is I was not out in the field. I use a wheelchair. I've had arthritis very badly since I was two. And, um, it- but that aside, I was at the desk trying to help people, resolve their problems. So my husband at the time, he was essential. Essential employees do have to go no matter what. And he worked in a prison. And he would see things sometimes. So one day he drove, this is Forked River, and so I could see the devastation. And this is months later. And I'm sure some of you know there's still devastation there. Places that have not been repaired or just can't be and whatnot. So it's still going on. But every year, no matter what the emergency, and it could be man-made, it could be weather related, you name it. If there are thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people affected, and as I said, it can be very long lasting. So that's why it's important we prepare. And that is Katrina. That is around the time that I got involved with this because the magnitude of this disaster brought about funding to bring on more people to help everywhere across the country. And they focused as well on helping folks with disabilities, as you can see here. These are the picture on the left in New Orleans is something you do not want to find yourself in. I cannot stand, I have a manual on a power chair. I can't stand being pushed on like outside my house because you can hit a bump and go flying. What is under that water? Like, who knows? And further, I don't really have to speculate. It's dirty, I'm sure.
And
So,
and coming from a power chair user, you cannot be in that water or else your chair is destroyed.
right,
So yeah.
it'll ruin the chair. And which leads me to another point. If you have chairs in your home, you should make sure that your insurance provider knows they're there and what the value is. Because if your home's destroyed and you have like I have a couple chairs because I'll save my old one when I get a new one, etc. they need to know the value of what is in your home. But Amanda's right. You know, if I brought my power out chair out there, or she brought hers, that's it's done. And this might be too. You don't know what is under there, so the goal is to get out ahead of time. The second picture is where they sheltered at the time in New Orleans. And my supervisor, when I put this together a while ago, she goes, "Oh, that's not allowed, right?" And I said, "No, actually, that is. The one on the left is not good. The one on the right is good." Folks who are deaf or hard of hearing traditionally like to be together because they can communicate, they can with each other, they can get information, share amongst themselves, and then if there is an ASL interpreter or message boards or what have you, it's a lot easier for them. So in that case, it's okay. However, if somebody does not want to stay right there, then you have to honor that. Okay. All right, so a couple more pictures, kind of same old, right? But this was Hurricane Harvey a few years back. The lady on the right is my friend Angela. Gosh, if she only knew I was talking about it. But she was Miss Wheelchair Texas. And the problem here, it wasn't her doing. The mayor said, don't evacuate early when really you need to. And so I will never forget on Facebook, she was posting updates that, oh, the water's rising, the water's rising. Then it became so bad. She said, "Can somebody send a boat? And my phone's about to die." Oh my goodness gracious. I thought, and then nothing. And I thought, did she pass? Because what are the odds of somebody sending a boat? But thank goodness she survived it. If you look closely, she is wet. But what's the problem now? Amanda, do you want to guess? Oh, you're muted.
Uh, I would think the problem is now is that she has no access to get around anywhere. I mean, because if
That's,
she
yeah.
did, yeah. So I
So
mean,
she had nowhere planned.
thank God her life is still intact,
Mhm.
but she's got no. The way I put it is, when we lose our mobility devices, we lose our legs.
Yep.
So she has no legs right now, basically. You know.
Yeah, so there somehow they got a wheelchair in here, but she had mentioned, she went to a hotel. I think those of us who use wheelchairs and even walkers, canes, whatnot, hotels are not super accessible, even if they say they are. It's much harder than functioning in your own modified home. Um, but she's wet, and you know, now she's displaced, and now she'll have to figure out if she can get help at the hotel, and now that's extra money. There's a whole array of problems. But again, she's alive and she's fine now, thank God. Hurricane Harvey again. This is a long-term care center where the executive director made a big mistake and didn't evacuate. A long-term care centers, for anybody watching this who lives in one or some similar property, they should be evacuating ahead. They need to have plans. In New Jersey, we had there to exercise plans and switch it up. One day is a hurricane, maybe a few months later, active shooter, another time fire, you name it. But here, again, they're in super dirty water. I mean, this is horrific. And what should have happened is they really should have gone to a sister facility, and they need to have memorandum of understanding in place and a whole plan. So that failed. I don't know if folks, I cannot, I apologize, recall folks passed, but I'm sure people are ill. So
And not to
why?
disrupt you, Kelly, but and I'm sure it bothers you being in this field, and what really bothers me is when, not only when people don't listen to emergency warnings, but when people with developmental disabilities don't listen, and elderly people, and you're like, we're telling you for a reason to get you so you're not stuck, and it's really, really frustrating to me anyway. You're muted, Kelly.
Okay. Lisa, are you on?
Yes.
Okay. Because, yeah, mine closed and opened. Did yours?
Oh, no.
Hmm.
It's
Okay. Because mine totally just,
Yeah, we did lose your PowerPoint there.
okay. That was strange. Okay. Can you see it?
yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So this probably by now goes without saying, preparing ahead will help ensure your safety and it can save your life. So we'll talk about that. Okay. Okay. It also has other benefits for a lot of folks, having a plan, and kind of talking it through with those who help you may reduce fear and anxiety, the threat of danger and potential impact, and obviously losses that can come as a result of a disaster. My brother lives in Virginia. I have a few things there, shower, chair, various things. So it's not a complete loss. It'd still be horrible, but it's something. So we'll talk about what to have in your head, hand, and home. Okay, first of all, your head would be your plan, your hand would be a go bag, and home a ready kit. So first and foremost, think about what hazards might affect the community you live in and how to get emergency alerts. More and more and more, I talk to folks who don't get them. And if you're not sure how to do so, again, call 211, your local office of emergency management. Uh, there is a list of county AFN coordinators because every county has a me, and Amanda's is in Ocean and Mama's John Kerwin and Jean Hannafy. So Amanda, I can provide that to you if you just remind me later, um, and they'll tell you. And but you need to conduct an assessment. That's the first step. And then from there, once you think what affects you, I know you all have wildfires, the pandemic, tornadoes, hurricanes, snowstorms. It could be bioterrorism, you name it. Think about that, how it could affect you, and then identify the assistance you might need during the emergency. Will you need help evacuating? Can you get out? Do you have a car? Can what can you do you need a personal care assistant? Anything like that? Do you need help finding shelter? Like I said, will you need assistance if you do have to go with activities of daily living? I need help dressing. I need help with my hair, washing my hair, that kind of thing, preparing meals. So I think about all that. And then further, learn about the existing emergency plans where you work If you live in an apartment complex, what are their plans? Project Freedom, I believe, what do you have, Amanda? One and more on the way. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I don't know how many is down in, I'm in Atlantic County actually. I don't know if there's
Mm,
any down here. I do have
mm.
friends that live out in Mercer County that are in a Project Freedom, and I have couple people that I know that live out in Tom's River in a Project Freedom. So um,
It was kind of garbled, but I mean, there's one in let's see, Tom's River. There will be one. There's one being built in Monmouth, and I'm on the boards, and I can't say, but there's more coming. Though, but the point is, uh, just learn what the plans are where you live, work, and socialize. If you go to a day program or some kind of senior center, you need to know what the plans are there. If they don't have plans, you could always let the township know, and they should try to get on them for that, or tell Amanda and she'll tell me, or you'll get my info at the end. Tell me, I will be on that fast. So, um, anyway, and then you'll develop your emergency plan, and I believe motions can help a little bit with that. The county AFN coordinator can, I can, but you want to base the plan off your assessment. And we'll get into this a little bit more, but you want to think about escape routes, evacuation plans, and plans to return. I remember I know what it was, Amanda. She waited way too long during, I think it was Sandy, and she was on a ventilator at a motorized wheelchair, and they were encouraging her to get out, and just wasn't budgeting. By the time she realized she needed to, there were wires down on the roadways, trees, etc. They almost couldn't get her. And folks who are on a ventilator and oxygen, that is critical. So you really need to go, even if it turns out to be a non-event. Really, it will it could turn out very bad if you don't go. Uh, Also, designate a meeting spot. If, let's say, there's a little fire on your street or in your house, know where you'll go. I have, I can go to my parents' house around the corner. I've thought about going to the library or the mall just until I can get situated. I can then maybe stay with a friend, my brother, my parents. So you think about what's best for you. Have transportation options if you need it. I drive. My friend Kathy has seizures. She cannot. So her options are her godson, a taxi, an Uber, and then sometimes the municipality or the county will provide transportation, and she also takes a bus. We talked about shelter locations. You can contact Red Cross. Be mindful that they don't always tell you right away because they don't want to set up a shelter and let everybody know right away for two reasons. One, they don't want to set it up and have it be in harm's way. And two, sometimes when they set it up, everybody rushes there and um, somehow gets in and takes things that, like, let's say food, they need to be kept there for folks who need it. Okay. Uh, you need a personal support network, a communications plan, a list of utilities that have to be shut off if you live in a home like I do. I'm here in a single family home. I can't get downstairs to the utilities, but I know enough to tell people where they are. You need a plan to care for pets or service animals and have a go bag and ready kit. And again, we'll get into all that. personal support network, identify who should be part of this network. That could be family, caregivers, meaning personal care assistants, friends, neighbors, and coworkers, whoever you think you would need to be part of this plan. And for me, a couple summers ago, we had a lot of tornadoes. It was very strange. So I did have my network in place, and my neighbors checked on me, my parents, my aide. It worked quite well. And then have a contact out of state. So that would be my brother in Virginia or my best friend in Pennsylvania. Now, my brother can't always come get me, but if there's a big storm brewing, a big hurricane coming, I can go there. And he and his wife can help me, and that would be fine. My parents would do the same. Okay. Um, hmm. Have a plan for communicating with your personal support network, and explain to them how that'll work, and test it on a blue sky day. What does that mean? That means a day like today, where at the moment there's no emergency. There will be bad rain later, but test it when it's calm. And if something doesn't work, tweak it. If you're not sure how to tweak it, you can ask your county AFN coordinator or somebody who has the knowledge to assess. So if you don't have a go bag, and Amanda, you have one, I assume, maybe Gail.
Yes, I do have a go bag. Yep.
Thought so. So the number one complaint I hear is I don't have the money. Okay. I totally get that. Sometimes they are given away by Department of Human Services, or I had a friend who had a calendar that not only outlined it broke it up all of this up in bite pieces. She printed it out from Red Cross Online, and it was free, obviously. But one day she would work on her plan. One day she would get something for her kit. You can get a lot at the dollar store. You can get free things from expos and fairs, like water bottles, pill holders, tissues, sanitizer, you name it. And we all are adults here. I sometimes ask for things for my birthday, or I give them to people for their birthdays, like flashlights, radios, and I'll show you the list in a minute. But it doesn't have to be expensive by any means. Okay. The bag should be by your door so you can grab and go, and update stock as needed or every 6 months. Water, definitely. Usually people didn't rotate it, but if you're doing bottled water, it can go bad. We're finding. Sorry. Um, right there. Amanda, if you'd like to explain 1 second, this was a little emergency call that I have to just tell him. I'll call him in a few minutes. Um, but you're muted, but if you want to explain to folks what's in there.
In emergency to go bag, there's like Kelly was saying, like flashlights, batteries, sometimes like prepackaged like food so that people have food available to them. Um trying to think what else was in
Yep.
mine.
Sorry about
Like emergency kit like with band-aids and things
that.
like that because you never
Yes.
know if you're gonna get cut or something like that. So
Yeah.
a lot of those things are in those bags, and it's really, really important to have one just in case, we don't want to be in an emergency, but you never know, so
I'm back. So sorry about that.
not a problem.
And you can see a lot of items are in plastic bags so they don't get wet. Why do we have cash? That's because a lot of times credit cards and ATMs don't work if the power's out, right? and small denominations are good. Also, they are now saying the medications, it's tricky because it gets more and more complicated, but they do have doctors and nurses at shelters. Maybe not a lot, maybe one or two, but they can refill if they have your prescription. So it's a good idea to try to get a prescription, and they would like you to bring your bottles now. So there's all that. Okay. Whatever you think you might need. And here are lists of what you can put in the bag. A crank radio is good because if the battery dies or you can't charge it or whatever, you can crank it up. Flashlights are helpful. I have a cool flashlight that was under $20 and I gave it as gifts too, where it has a radio, it has a spot for my pills, although we just spoke about the new rules of the pills, and the flashlight is really kind of neat. And it has a strap so I can hang it, hold on to it easier. Um, okay, medications, yes, you need to know, have the dosage. And then medical supplies, Amanda mentioned first aid kit, hearing aids, eyeglasses, etc. Red Cross is now trying to have extra eyeglasses on hand in shelters, but you can't always guarantee they'll have it or it will be your prescription. Okay, and then always have emergency contact lists in your bag. I put mine in pencil because why? People move, things change. Um, you can have a copy of your bank account in your bag, and preferably in a Ziploc. I, I I keep mine with my brother as my copy. I'm a little, you know, leery about that. And same with other important documents, mortgage and insurance, uh, you name it, whatever you think you would need, have it with a very trusted individual. And then I don't mean the person you met last week, somebody you really trust. Okay. A thumb drive with crucial files is great, except what happens if the power's out? That's useless. Also, sometimes the shelters or wherever it is you may go, people don't want to put that in their laptop or computer because they think it could have a virus. Comfort items are nice, magazine, cards, you name it. If you can't see the cards, pick what works for you. Change of clothes is good if you're wet or just whatever.
Lost Kelly. Hopefully she can. There we go.
Kelly, you're still muted. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Okay. So I mentioned latex gloves or those that are non-allergenic, or the thick garden gloves here if you need it for some type of reason. Glow sticks if you're stranded. Blankets are great to have in a car. I have one. Snacks and water, and a list of allergies. You should also have a kit for your household. I don't really understand the point of this. I'm going to be very honest, but they recommend it. And, uh, to me, for me, I have extra supplies in my basement, cereals and wipes and things like that that I could use. But this is what they recommend. They used to say 3 days, now it's about a week or more. And again, make sure things aren't expired. We talked about the support network. Keep this personal support network in. Keep that list in your bag and then also maybe on your refrigerator. My coworker had a brilliant idea. She had me take a picture years ago and text it to whoever needed it. And I date it and update it as needed. They say update it annually or more. Yes, I definitely update it as needed. Okay. Keep it in your go bag and your ready kit. Also, I recommend sending it to, like I said, whoever is on it. And also, I send a list of my medications to trusted individuals who may need to help me. Um, you could put a copy on your refrigerator. EMTs or EMS know to look for that, or they should. And shelter in place when instructed by officials. Use your ready kit, which is what I just mentioned, and keep current on emergency updates through your radio, internet, TV, cell phone. Uh, you can talk to friends, but they may not be correct. So be careful with where you're getting your info from. We have social media uh, that you can get up to date info from. Anything like that, you could call 211 and keep in touch with your personal support network. They can call you, you could call them and let them know if you need anything or if you're okay. If you're evacuating, follow instructions from emergency personnel. Don't try to go random ways because you might get stuck. And if you have a disaster plan of which routes to take, try to follow that if it's safe. Um, and then you could go to your meeting place or a shelter if those are in harm's way. Try to find somewhere else to go. And again, let your support network know where you're going and when you're home. Bring your go bag for sure. And sheltering. Sheltering is a lifeboat, not a cruise ship. Some people think they're going to go to it's going to be a fancy hotel. Once in a while, maybe. But normally it's just to make sure you're still alive. You'll get a cot. They have accessible cots, but you'll get food. They have charging stations so you can charge your phone, your wheelchair if you have one. Assistive technology can be charged. If you have any of these items, you're priority, not somebody like my next door neighbor who has a phone, but no disability. So you would be priority. And again, try to have another place in mind that you can go to because, like, going back to my parents or my brother, they know my needs. This is crazy. I wonder why this keeps happening.
No problems, Kelly. Take your time.
So it's easier to go to the house of someone who knows your needs and maybe you already have what you need there. Okay. But keep in mind it needs to be in a safe zone. Okay. Talked about this. Here are some websites. FEMA's website, Amanda, just so you know too, in case anybody follows up with you. FEMA's website is day by day. They've taken a lot of info off. So I would, focus more on the others, promoting the others, but you can get a lot of information from the other sites. And I think we're almost done here, but Register Ready that I oversee is a very secure system under Everbridge, which is part of the state's alert and warning system. And this doesn't guarantee that you'll get an alert and warning. It depends on your municipality or county. Ocean is fantastic at it, and so is Mama's. So if you're from those areas, which I'm pretty sure you are, you're in good hands. Uh, you can register, you have a family member or caregiver or friend do it. It's free. It, like I said, it's secure, and you're going to put in personal info that you're comfortable with. Um, so emergency responders can enhance their plans and better just better prepare for an emergency. Some will also respond if the let's say tonight I know I'm having a big storm over here. They might call and check, but do feel free to reach out and see how they utilize the system. I know for a fact when Ocean had the fires, they were calling people. They were on it. Okay. Again, it's you don't have to do this, but it if you don't, the emergency managers and responders don't know you're there and what your needs are. And you can do it by registering online or calling 211. They will also help folks who need ASL or speak another language. Some places have paper forms, but I think that is um, lesser now that we just changed to a better system. Okay. And so, they want to know who needs oxygen so they have it on hand, who can't drive so they have a plan to get folks to safety. Okay. And let's see, that's the website 211. We talked about all that. So it might be, I know Hunterdon County, for example, they had a very bad water main break and they used it to call everybody or do reverse 911 alerts. Uh, Burlington County has had municipalities go door to door to check on people or to warn them to evacuate. One municipality up North Jersey uh, called folks uh, who really had severe disabilities or whatnot to see if they'd like to stay in a hotel prior to a storm. And then sometimes they'll call and just do a survey to see how has this worked for you? What would you like to see better changed? We talked about a lot of this. Sometimes, yes, they'll use data to help plan for shelters or warming centers, cooling centers, you name it. And sometimes they'll help you make a personal preparedness plan. COVID was unprecedented times. They would make sure folks got the vaccine if they couldn't get out of their home. Some of the counties, like Hunterdon, made sure folks had groceries. And then some took the time just to make sure people had a preparedness plan. And if you can help me promote it, I will love you forever. And these are a few ways to do it. The bottom bullet point is incorrect. My apologies. We have it in 9 languages online. Amanda, remind me, I can send you that too, but it's in 9 languages and you can download it, or Amanda and I can get you a brochure if you'd like one.
Yeah, definitely share that with us because Lisa's actually that's on the meeting with us is our marketing person. So I'm sure I'm sure Judith and Lisa they would be fine with sharing that with motions members as well and promoting it on our social medias for sure. Um,
Perfect.
Definitely
So
happy to share.
thank you. I appreciate it. Saying my internet is unstable again, but we're done. So
thank you.
that is my contact info. Uh, you know, you
Thank
could
you so much,
call,
Kelly.
email.
And
That is my personal cell. So if it's a real emergency, call me anytime. If it's not a real emergency, business hours is easier. And I try to check my email throughout the day and evening. Any questions, Gail, Amanda, Lisa, anybody?
I know I sent you some questions, like overview questions. I wanted to know, I know one of my questions was, not that we want this to happen and we want people to be prepared ahead of time, but was there ever a situation where you had to get a person with a developmental disability out of a out of an emergency situation? And what did you do about that? Or did you have to have somebody come and help them or um, she's still with us. I think. You there, Kelly? She might be having some tech issues.
Lisa, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I did have a work clock, but I also have to call the gentleman regarding the emergency, but I could take a quick question. Or you could always, email me or call me tomorrow.
I did have I don't know if you heard the one I asked. I just asked did you ever have a person with a developmental disability that you had to get out of emergency situation? And what were the steps that you took for that?
So for me personally, I get a lot of calls from folks who have autism, and it's more of the, families where the individual goes missing, and we can provide locator devices, which you and I should talk offline about that if you'd like.
Okay.
Call me tomorrow or Friday. But to answer your specific question, I don't go out and respond. I'm more of the planner. So it'd be the county emergency manager and or the county AFN coordinator who would go out and do that. But yes, there have been. I've heard Burlington had two uh, individuals go out in a snowstorm and not survive it.
Oh wow.
Um, yes.
Wow.
So, and they were from a group home. Burlington has a lot of Project Freedoms, but Project Freedom is on top of what they're planning. But that's why group homes need plans too. Um, and why what you're doing is important. If you have problems when you or Lisa look back at this, let me know because I'm happy to do it again. I don't know what's going on my end. I really do. I heard Verizon is having problems from Burlington County's AFN coordinator told me that right before this, and so I have Verizon as it would be, but I'm
No,
happy to
you really
re-report.
only it came out good, Kelly. You gave us some very
Oh,
valuable information, and I want to
thank
thank you
you.
on behalf of Motion for taking time out of your busy schedule
Always.
to talk with us. So, um,
Thank you.
like we said, we will be putting this on our social medias, this talk today for people that didn't get to see it, hopefully. And I will be having an in-person panel discussion in September, which I sent you an invite yesterday about. So I hope you can join us for that. Um,
Did I? Okay.
I,
Yeah, I'll check. I don't
yeah,
know.
I only sent it yesterday, so you could have not have
Okay.
seen it yet, but
Can you resend you mine because I
I
am
will
getting,
I will resend it. Yes, not a
thank
problem.
you.
Yep.
If Phyllis and I both are getting from Burlington, some things aren't coming through with Verizon. So if I don't answer you, feel free to prompt me because
Okay. Thank you so much, Kelly, and thank you,
thank
Gail,
you.
for
Thanks,
joining
Gail.
us.
Thanks, Lisa. I'm gonna sign off, but message me if you have questions. If I don't answer, message again because I don't know what's going on with Verizon.
And everybody be careful in the weather today if we do get
Yes,
a little bit
please.
of a storm, okay? And thank you, Lisa, for all your help.
Thanks all.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.